let us begin as we discuss the identification.
Western Game Biz is essentially crashed as of today.
Once again, I reiterate the difference between the market crash and the soul crash, right?
They're in the skid. They're trying to turn out of it, but that truck is coming, and I see it.
Yeah, because the thing when you buy out a company like Electronic Arts is that you're hitting a whole lot of people that do give a shit about this buyout, but you're also so broad that you're hitting a whole bunch of people that give no fucks about the details of who, what, or why, you know? And you also run into, it's really, I mean, it comes up a lot, but it's the most basic level discussion every time someone goes like, hey, you know, you support countries doing shitty things or whatever, and it's like
yada yada.
The difference is the direct person that did the thing being directly involved in the purchase, as opposed to
I don't want to get into a version of this conversation where we describe how many companies Nestle owns.
Of course, exactly. No, but it's just anytime it's a bad faith argument where somebody brings it up or whatever, it's like if there's a person who happens to live in a country that's doing business in this way, running a tournament, buying a thing or whatever, that's totally fine. That's a random person that lives in a country versus the government of the country themselves that does the thing.
Yeah. So what are you talking about exactly?
I'm talking about the fact that EA has been set up to have a $55 billion buyout deal. The buyers include the Saudi Sovereign Wealth Fund, the PIF, and a private equity firm run by Jared Kushner.
So everybody's focusing on, or a lot of people are focusing on the Saudi involvement, which I believe to be like more sports washing, like similar to the FGC.
Yeah. Exactly. It's exactly. That sucks.
But let's throw all that shit away. Let's throw away who bought it away. That's not even important to this discussion. What's important is that they bought it with something called a leveraged buyout, which means they didn't have $55 billion to buy EA. So
yeah, there's different elements to it, right? That to me is like the third step in the story, so to speak. The first one being that, like, yep, the Saudi Arabian purchases, the sports washing, we've seen that it's starting to move. Obviously, we've talked about it in
as Madden, FIFA, etc.
Yeah, well, no, but I'm saying we talked about it with the PIF fund, which, you know, what SNK was, you know, one of the ones with a big buyout, but they also invested heavily in a bunch of companies: Nexon, Capcom, Nintendo, EA before this, etc. All of that, those percentages were increasing slowly over time. They were not being disclosed. And then this also introduces Jared Kushner, who is got his side of it as well. They're combining to form a major part of the buyout. Jared Kushner's firm, well, rather, like, there's for anyone who doesn't know, I mean, you can go back not too long. And
there's a lot of economics nerd shit to talk about on this.
There sure is. The takeaways were just me going like, oh, that guy who was involved directly with apparently, according to reports and whistleblowers, it was involved directly with the Khashoggi murder stuff. Was giving the okay for his arrest, apparently, according to whistleblowers and reports, and also was giving counseling on how to handle it from a PR perspective directly to MBS.
Yeah, rich people murder people all the time. We know
that all goes down, sure. And then
the point is that leveraged buyout.
20 billion of the 55 is debt financing.
So that's weird. So they didn't have 55 billion, right? They actually only had 35. So where'd the extra 20 come from, Wooly?
From JP Morgan Chase.
Why? Who's on the hook for that?
That's the bank. So
who has to pay that back? Is it the private equity firm?
Oh no, that's the company directly. That's.
Oh, okay. So Wooly, I want to hire you to mow my lawn, but I'm going to give you $50.
Mm-hmm.
But I had to borrow 20 of those dollars from Jim, and when Jim asks me for my money, I tell him to go break your legs.
Well, so
Unless you can come up with 20 extra dollars.
So apparently 18 billion of the 20 billion is expected to be paid back because it's a cash deal. It's expected to be paid back immediately. And then the rest will be, again, on the hook. So it's debt financing. There's an aspect of this where they're buying it and they're going to have a lot of cost saving to do.
Doesn't EA's yearly profit margin not even cover the interest on this debt?
Well, that's the thing, right? Again, there's all these different parts of it. So, yeah, it turns out that there's a humongous amount of cutting that one can expect, things to get aggressive. But according to folks involved with the deal, the thought is that their operating costs as a company are going to go down because
they're going to drastic go down,
because a big part of what's going to happen in the coming years is the debt load will be handled by AI. They're going to be able to boost profits in the coming years as AI becomes a bigger part of EA's operating costs.
So you're telling me they're going to double their profits by getting rid of so much staff that it covers up the shortfall, and they're going to have all that staff replaced by robots? Dude, they're going to save so much money.
It's crazy.
They're going to save so much money.
So yeah, 20 billion of that 55, that debt, then that ability to pay it back, expect to see a massive amount of, staff fired for that. Expect to see a bunch of
the only way you can get more money now is by not spending money.
Expect any projects that you're hoping to hear more about that are beloved things that are just currently cooking. Expect a bunch of those to just get tossed, I'm sure. Anything that's not surefire gangbusters, billions.
And he saved as $1 earned or whatever the fuck.
Then an LLM.
Penny saved, penny earned, but these stupid motherfuckers actually think a penny saved is $1 earned.
And a water bucket wasted is an AI question unanswered, So yeah.
Well, let's ignore the fact that MIT said that AI is actually worse at doing all these kinds of jobs than any person.
Yeah, sure. We can also,
it's actually a net loss by like about 10%.
You can also ignore the fact that JP Morgan Chase Bank is the bank that is the Epstein fucking related bank.
Oh, well, yeah.
There's a ton of, there's literally people on that board and executives that are actually in the emails that fucking have the sketchiest, most super disgusting.
So the long and short of it is that this is what happened to Red Lobster. Red Lobster got eaten up by private equity and then destroyed. Because you buy the company and then you saddle the company with all of your debt, tear it up, and then leave and go, oh, look, they have the debt. It's all them. It's all they have. They're on the hook. I'm out of here. See you, shitheads.
Well, again, I was gonna say, like, if the faith in AI leads to absolute waste and nuclear fallout for the investment here, it couldn't happen to a shittier bank, I could say, at the very least, seeing as once again that is the bank that bankrolled Epstein, so good for them if they fucking rot in the process. But unfortunately, what this obviously means is we're going to be looking at this massive sports washing story across the industry as one that is going to accelerate its imminent collapse. I want to bring up again what Giuna said about the FGC side of things, which was, hey, eventually when all this money changes hands and they stop caring and they don't want to play with their toys anymore and it's fucking the Toy Story.
They're just going to drop it.
Right? When they destroy everything in the process, just be ready for what happens afterwards. Now, with that community, it's like, hey, support your locals, go to these places and make these things happen, ignore them, etc. What the fuck is the equivalent of support your locals with EA?
They're gonna run. So what you're gonna see is everything that's not Battlefield, Battlefield, Madden, FIFA, and maybe the next Mass Effect game is canceled.
Yeah.
They're all canceled. Everything's canceled. You're going to see prices increase on those massively. They're going to really turn up the mini buys and the gambling. Oh, Apex as well and Sims. My mistake. But, the big boys.
AI generated.
They're going to really turn the screws to them.
FC, AI generated soccer games. That's
and they're gonna slow bleed them by every single year. They're going to be like, well, you have to hit this target, and the only way you can hit that target is by cutting staff. Which means their shit's just going to get worse and worse and worse and worse every single year.
The other part of this that's fucking fascinating and is telling of what this this is all, again, sports washing, buyout. The whole point of this kind of like confrontational thing is essentially, if we can buy out golf, if we can buy out wrestling, we can buy out the entirety of video games, and you're watching that process occur. What's interesting is the switch over to it being private as well. So no investors, no outside, no market here. This is just taking it off the market entirely. No more investor meetings or people buying shares in the company. They are 100% holding the entire thing,
So shareholders are evil and stupid, but imagine if instead of a diverse group of evil and stupid people, it was actually like 4 or 5 evil stupid people.
The absolute core of it. Yeah.
Sure. What if you just got the worst of them and just gave them total control?
Just speedrun the entire process. No, it really is the kind of thing where it's like every name involved with the deal is just like, oh, this is just the worst. Like all three, like fucking, yeah, it's you couldn't hand it off to a more depressing Triforce of evil shit. And
it'll be really interesting to me to see what happens with Battlefield, because Battlefield is made by DICE out in Sweden, and the DICE group is the only developers in EA that have a fucking union, because they're out in Sweden where you have to have a union for everything, which insulates them from a very significant degree of this stuff. So it will probably be Battlefield will be insulated until Battlefield is over. Until Battlefield is just over, because they can't reach any agreements with DICE's union.
Yeah. So how unions have been getting momentum. You know how that's been picking up steam a little bit.
Yeah. A little bit. Yeah.
Oh man.
I think Blizzard unionizing, like right before or during the Activision Blizzard acquisition, was a really smart move. Very smart move.
There's no reason to assume that, like, of course we know, again, the trusting in the AI part of this is the hilarious punchline at the end of it all.
Oh yeah, because like let's throw the ethics of AI away. Is that it's not going to save them money; it's going to cost them time.
The thing is just the idea that through interest, because everywhere that they've invested a little bit and bought a little bit, the idea is to slowly buy more. You can fully expect to see this continue, and you can expect to see way more companies seeing way more of their shares going to the PIF, and you can basically watch as the entirety of this industry slowly gets bought out.
Well, not the whole industry. I can think of at least one company that would rather die in the ground than sell their shit entirely to Saudi Arabia, and that'd be Nintendo.
Yeah, sure. But
those guys seem like they would rather burn the building down than sell the company to anything that wasn't Japanese.
But they have no issues selling them stocks in the meantime and having them hold on to a percentage.
It's just not a controlling percentage.
It's not a controlling percentage, right? But that's what's happening with each of these, right? I literally have the fucking list.
That's the trick. You can take any money from anybody as long as they don't have a controlling percentage. That's what's happening with Ubisoft.
Or in the SNK case, where it was like you buy a controlling percentage from a different company in Hong Kong that was not even SNK directly. You can buy out the controlling percentage. But
so Ubisoft is a really good example, because that's coming up this week. Do you know what the finalization of what's been going on with fucking Ubisoft this week?
Mm-hmm.
They fucking finished selling Assassin's Creed, Rainbow Six Siege,
all the different parts,
Rainbow and Splinter Cell to themselves in a shell company that is 100% owned by the fucking Guillermo family, so that when the fucking Ubisoft gets bought out by Tencent, they can just go, fuck, well, Vanguard owns it. We're all quitting and going to work for Vanguard. I guess they own all the IPs. Sorry.
Cutting out the IPs is fucking nasty work, man. That is, yeah. But But
When
anyway,
we shuffled it around, I don't even own it. You don't own me.
it's in my baby cousin's name, actually. This business is, you know. Yeah. So no. Anyways, just what all that to say that there are percentages slowly increasing across the industry that have been happening in the background, and they don't publicly report on the increase. Every once in a while, you get an update, but this is not the end of this. Certainly, expect it to continue. But the I don't know what the landscape looks like for people working at these jobs.
It's bad. It looks bad.
I
It
don't
looks
know.
really bad.
Well,
It's bad.
Yes, yes. Obviously, it's
a poor outlook.
It's poor. Yes, obviously, it's quite poor. Obviously, yes. What I'm getting at is that the idea of like these houses collapsing and people running out of them and holding their resumes and seeing what they can find around elsewhere as they run into another one that then gets taken over. And then you're like, well, what the fuck? Like, that's going to get worse and worse and shittier and shittier. Not everybody is going to drop into a team and make some indies.
Oh, no. You're going to lose tons and tons and tons of institutional knowledge.
So this is all just, again, if you are somebody who looks at this and goes, yeah, I don't care about who's buying it or how that involves me or whatever the implications
don't worry,
are.
you will.
You
absolutely will.
You don't,
you won't know that these are related because you didn't pay attention, but you absolutely will.
If you don't feel the soul crash, then you will feel the market crash. It's very, very...
When you see the $295 version of Mass Effect 4 that doesn't include the fucking Javik is Back to Life DLC, you're going to be like, what the fuck? Why is it so expensive? I don't get it. It's like, well, because you didn't pay attention.
Yeah. How much is it going to cost to get Cristiano Ronaldo and FC 27? You know, to get the burner card for him or whatever the case is.
Now, I know what you're thinking, Woolie. I know what you're thinking. What you're thinking is, it sucks that EA is going to make their games cost like a lot more. But luckily for me, I'm a subscriber of Xbox Game Pass, which is the cheapest and most effective way to play all my games all year. And nothing can change that.
I was actually going a different direction, but yeah,
you
sure.
are.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I mean, before even that, didn't Xbox also get taken off the shelves at like Costco? Like, didn't they just say we're done?
We didn't even cover that, dude. But yeah. Costco took Xbox off the shelves, and I went and read the specific wording because it made me laugh really hard. It wasn't, we regret to say that we cannot find a way to keep Xbox on the shelves. It was, we're not carrying Xbox products on our shelves anymore.
So that was the bit, but no. If we can swerve over here, the Game Pass price increases 50%, and the website to cancel your subscription crashes due to a traffic spike.
So it is now $360 a year to play Game Pass, which Game Pass's primary user base is guys who play 2 games a year, being Call of Duty and Madden.
the entire premise of being like, we're going to save money, actually. Yeah, no, that's good stuff.
That's before tax, by the way. That's before tax.
Yeah. Combine, just, stories are always delivered piecemeal, but if you were to just combine this with a bunch of the stuff with Microsoft's AI stories from recently and the layoffs and all the shit we've been talking about and reporting on, and then the de-shelving of them from Costco, things are looking great for Xbox right now.
Looking really good.
Solid bit.
Looking really good.
Yeah, the idea of a cancellation website crashing, meaning people are unable to get out fast enough because it's too fucking jam-packed, is absolutely wild. So that's something. But no, actually, where I was going to go was because, again, you can't have any light at the end of the tunnel here, as we were talking about the fact that they're hoping AI is going to reduce the costs of this $20 billion debt
Dude, it's
leveraging.
going to reduce it so much. It's going to reduce it to zero when they fucking default.
Well, I'll tell you what. Japan's got their feelings on the matter.
What's that?
Well, according to a recent survey, over half of Japanese game companies are using AI, and are generatively at that.
Sick. Great. Super.
So
I bet that's the same everywhere, honestly.
Yeah. So there was a large survey conducted by the CISA, Computer Entertainment Suppliers Association. And yeah, they reported that 51% of companies are using AI in some capacity. Some usage includes visual game assets, story and text generation, and programming assistance. So it's some creative work and some like other. And the generative aspects of this, of course, are what you hope they avoid, but in this case, they're kind of more or less embracing it. But Nintendo has said that they're steering clear from it for the time being.
I wish Nintendo wasn't so fucking evil on a lot of stuff, because they're the only company that's not evil on some other stuff.
Right? Yes.
The
way they
they're
treat
so shitty about price and ownership and copyright, but they're so fucking based about creators making what they want to make,
and about work-life balance and time off. And benefits for employees and treating like
it's almost like we live in a complicated world. I hate that.
You know what? A society, even, Pat.
Fuck.
Right? So that's why from week to week, 1 week we're fucking shitting on and making fun of Nintendo, and then the next week we're like, good for them, good shit, being like, we're not touching this AI stuff, right? Yes, that's what it is.
It's like parenting, man.
It's
you wag your finger when they do a no-no, and you give them praise when they do good.
Well, they've come out to say that they are, for the time being, steering clear of generative AI, mainly to avoid copyright concerns. And
they're currently fighting a bunch of fucking copyright battles right now.
Well, as a fiercely litigious fucking company, right? At least they're being internally consistent.
They need to be iron fucking clad on that shit.
At least they're being internally consistent. Could you imagine a marathon like fucking texture showing up in Donkey Kong in the middle of this Pal World shit?
I like to think that Yamauchi's ghost is just fucking just scooting around, scaring people.
Well, maybe
we used to make playing cards. They were real cards.
Just haunting the new president, Devon Pritchard.
Yeah.
as Bowser steps down, it's like, yeah, I'm leaving because this office is haunted. this ghost with shades.
That's a good reason, man. I'd leave.
Yeah.
If I found a fucking haunted fucking office, I wouldn't work there. That's fucking bullshit.
Yeah. So, side note, President Bowser stepping down.
Yeah, that's fine. He didn't do anything.
Yeah.
He didn't do anything in his tenure.
So the thing with the whole survey though as well is I think the Larian CEO Vinky was kind of describing that like
sick. We got brand new good news that's actually shit news.
Okay.
Cult Games has issued a statement clarifying the use of generative AI in Hotel Barcelona, the upcoming slasher roguelite from White Owl, Suda51, and Swery.
Yeah!
The team acknowledges that it failed to disclose the AI-generated content available in the New Game Plus tapes, and confirmed that a patch is in the works to replace all such content with human-made work.
Here we go. Yeah, guys, you can't. It doesn't. Yeah. It doesn't matter in the sense that we're entering a realm where it won't be easy to tell anymore, right?
And you can't rely on like, well, they're cool. They wouldn't.
Fucking, there was a Code Mystics thing that just popped up where, like, some of their achievements, there's an arcade machine that looks like super generated, and they said, no, we didn't. Here's the PSD to prove that, you know, these assets weren't made that way. But when you look at them, it's like, no, but that really, really, really looks like it was generated, though. It's a gibberish arcade console.
This awesome? Isn't this just great?
Like,
isn't
I know you're saying no, but look at it. Use your eyeballs and look at it. That doesn't, people don't.
Did you just say eyeballs? Like a New Yorker?
So so Larian CEO was basically saying, my stance on AI is really straightforward. It's a tool we use to help make things go faster. We have so much work. We're happy to take assistance from anything. I don't think it'll ever replace the creative side of things, however, and described how they solved the bottleneck by hiring 15 new artists instead of using AI. Right?
It's really a good sign for whatever industry that you're in, that the solution to ever rising costs is a golden goose. Like, guys, yeah. I know the farm's about to go under, but check this out. I got some fucking magic beans. Yeah.
The part of this that, you know, the part of this that is already flown the coop and is done is the part that is, again, for programming, for whatever rote mechanical purposes, etc. The creative aspect is where you'd hope a lot of these companies would draw the line, and not all of them are doing so, and it's probably on a project-to-project basis, especially if you're in a situation where bottom lines need to catch up, such as everything we just talked about with EA, right?
This shit sucks. It's also creating like a sliding scale of video game morality that I think sucks really bad.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because like,
yeah.
I need to take another break to pee, right? Because I drank too much of this Red Bull. But like, I want to talk about Teemo after this. And like, Riot is fucking evil. They're so evil. But like, they're less evil than like EA and Ubisoft. So I'm like unconsciously softening because I think Teemo's cool.
Well, because but the thing is, in many cases, you're rooting for the developer that is under the shadow of Sauron.
I think the cannons are probably okay.
Yeah.
I haven't hung out with them. You have. You think they're cool?
Fine. Good blokes. Good blokes, you know? Sean Unconquerable's good dude. 2XKO folks, all chill. Like them. Love that. They're great people. The thing is just the company that is making the game that you like is under the shadow of something horrendous. Hey, Titanfall. What the fuck is that now? I don't know.
I spoke to a guy like 5 years ago, and he was like, got some really exciting Titanfall stuff coming up. And I was like, really? Like, yeah. And I'm like, how do you know? He's like,
yeah.
And I'm like, cool. And then I've never seen that guy again.
Yeah. Well,
and I've never spoken to him again. And we know that multiple fucking things got canceled.
Nah, because here comes the turbulent wind, man. It ain't making its way out of the turbulent wind.